Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
But I did see the one clip that somebody put on the internet about him saying, don't virtue signal, just come out here and get your little prize, go fuck off, because nobody cares about your opinion. I was like, thank you. Thank you, Ricky. The Ellen situation.
Yeah.
You know, people found out that Ellen was mean, and all these people came out and said, Ellen's actually a bitch. And then we're like, oh,
yeah.
I can't believe it. And she lost everything. She fell apart, disappeared, because people found out that this character that she was portraying in a half an hour on a television show is not really who she was. My buddy Greg, who was one of her writers, was like, she's a piece of shit. And he was like, she's a monster.
The Golden Globe Awards took place in January 2020. During the ceremony, Ricky Gervais stood before a room full of A-list celebrities and made a joke referencing Jeffrey Epstein. One of the first reactions caught on camera was from Tom Hanks, whose expression looked shocked, almost like he wished he could disappear from the room. The clip quickly spread across the internet and reached millions of viewers. At the time, most people simply laughed, turned it into memes, and moved on. But 6 years later, that same moment is being looked at very differently. And that's what we're going to talk about today. You've probably seen versions of this story circulating online. If you clicked on this video, the Ricky Gervais clip, Tom Hanks' reaction, and post about the Epstein files. However, what I discovered while looking deeper into it may surprise you, because there are several pieces to this story. There's the Golden Globes moment itself. Then there's Isaac Cappy, who publicly accused Tom Hanks during a live stream. In 2018, there's also a strange Instagram post that some people interpreted as a threat, along with the discussion about Hanks' Greece citizenship. And then there's the broader controversy surrounding the Epstein file discussions that resurfaced in January 2026, when claims online suggested Tom Hanks' name appeared in certain records. We're going to go through all of it so that by the end you can understand what is confirmed, what has been exaggerated, and what may simply be misinformation.
Sarah Ruth Ashcraft on Twitter, who has been accusing Tom Hanks of her when she was 13. Her dad sold her to Tom Hanks.
Since when has this brand of common decency and professionalism been put on hold just because of dynamics in the workplace?
That single awkward camera cut from the Golden Globe Awards in 2020 eventually grew into years of conspiracy talk surrounding one of the most famous actors in the world, Tom Hanks. So let's break it down before getting deeper into the story. It helps to understand who the key people are and why this moment attracted so much attention. A brief reaction clip quickly turned into a meme, and that meme slowly evolved into a much larger online theory. Now let's talk about what actually happened that night. Ricky Gervais was on stage doing what he's known for, delivering sharp jokes about the audience. He poked fun at Leonardo DiCaprio and his dating history, referenced the college admissions scandal involving Felicity Huffman, and even joked about Apple Inc. producing shows in questionable conditions. It was typical Ricky Gervais humor. Then, he made the comment referencing Jeffrey Epstein, saying something along the lines of, "I know he was your friend, but I don't care." That line immediately caught the room's attention. While Ricky Gervais continues speaking to the audience, the camera suddenly cuts to Tom Hanks. Tom looks genuinely surprised, almost like someone at a dinner party just said something completely unexpected, and now you're not sure where to look. His jaw drops slightly, his eyes widen, and it's clear he isn't hiding his reaction very well. Within moments, the clip was captured in screenshots and shared across the internet. By the next morning, it had already become one of the biggest memes from that night's Golden Globe Awards.
In this show, that's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer, and it's still more fun than this. Okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, just like Jeffrey Epstein.
No.
Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
Is this what's going on with social media, that Oprah and I cannot go on a billionaire's boat to Tahiti with a former president of the United States and not keep it secret, for God's sake?
People started sharing the clip of Tom Hanks reacting while Ricky Gervais roasted the entire room. At first, everyone treated it as a joke and simply enjoyed the moment. But soon the tone in the comment sections began to change. Instead of laughing, people started analyzing Tom's reaction more closely. Many wondered why he looked so uncomfortable specifically during the Jeffrey Epstein joke. While other jokes didn't seem to bother him, questions quickly appeared online asking whether Tom Hanks might have known anything about Epstein. And that was all it took for the speculation to spread. Once a question like that enters the internet, it rarely disappears. Later, Ricky Gervais addressed the moment in an interview with Yahoo Entertainment. He explained that he didn't believe Tom Hanks reacted that way because he was guilty of anything. According to Ricky, Tom probably just felt the joke was extremely bold and wondered if it might have crossed the line.
When they said, do you want to host the Golden Globes? All that stuff I said in the show was true. I said, I'm going to write my own jokes. Right? And I thought, who do I pander to? The 200 richest people in the room or the 200 million people watching at home who aren't winning awards, who aren't millionaires? And it was a no-brainer. And if they can't take a gentle ribbon, and they've got everything already, they've got everything. You can take the mickey out of their film or their hair or something. And that was the days when they were revered, where people thought you shouldn't take the mickey out of these wonderful people.
People have also started questioning what powerful figures were supposedly doing behind closed doors, in the name of staying powerful, youthful, and untouchable. When you look at it from that perspective, Ricky Gervais stepping onto that stage suddenly feels less like a bold comedy act and more like a moment that forced people to pay attention. Some even believe it changed the way audiences started looking at celebrities, such as Ellen DeGeneres and others connected to those elite circles. But what many people overlook is how all of this began. Before discussions about the Jeffrey Epstein files spread across the internet, before celebrities quietly started selling properties and moving abroad, and before online communities began connecting dots that mainstream media avoided, there was already someone speaking directly to Hollywood's most powerful figures. Standing on one of the biggest stages in the industry, Ricky Gervais held a microphone, looked straight at the elite audience, and delivered his jokes with a smile.
People that are in the position to actually know the people's names on the list, those people are probably in trouble.
Yeah.
Because that's a crazy piece of information to have.
Look.
No one's been tried. No one's been brought. No one's been discussed. We know who went there. We know flight logs. No one talks about anything. There's no effort to process.
Nearly 200 million people were watching from home. That was the real audience. Not the celebrities sitting in the room. Not the studio executives or producers. But the viewers at home. The people who were in part of that world and had no idea what might actually be happening behind those polished, closed doors. And that's exactly what we're getting into today. Because this story goes much deeper than simple award show comedy. It points to a pattern, a kind of ritual, an alleged obsession that some believe reaches the highest levels of Hollywood. Ricky Gervais has been hinting at things like this for years. If you go back and watch every Golden Globe Awards appearance he hosted, pay close attention to the room, notice the reactions, see who laughs freely and who suddenly becomes completely silent and frozen.
Taking you back to do those awards, and the actual actors and actresses in the audience, they look terrified at the idea of you mentioning their name. Did you feel that?
Did, and I noticed it the first time. I didn't get it. Like, one of the first one I did it, people would come up and say, what are you going to say about me? I think, why do you care? I only go after their public behaviours.
Now let's talk about Ellen DeGeneres. And stay with me here because this is where the story starts to get uncomfortable. Ellen built her entire public image around being kind, friendly, and funny. The kind of person millions of viewers invited into their homes every afternoon for hours. And that's exactly what happened. She became America's daytime favorite. The host who constantly reminded people to be kind, known for her dancing entrances and easy smile. But behind that carefully crafted image, some claim a very different reality was unfolding. The conversation shifts towards something deeper than fame or money. Something more primal involving youth, vitality, and influence. According to accounts that began circulating after discussions around Jeffrey Epstein files spread online, some witnesses have claimed there was a belief within certain elite circles that these qualities could somehow be taken or absorbed.
She believed consumption was transformation, that youth could be taken in, that vitality could be absorbed. She talked about ancient rites, about elites throughout history who understood what the masses did.
DeGeneres and Portia de Rossi moved to England after Trump election win. Ellen and Portia have settled into a new home in the Cotswolds, a region in southwest England about 2 hours from London. We're told that the couple scooped up the place before the election, but were very disillusioned with Trump's victory, and as one source put it, they immediately decided to, quote-unquote, get the hell out. Wow.
Did you see the Ellen DeGeneres set on her show was the same set as the Epstein Island?
Oh boy, you gotta relax.
Bro, check it. Bro, look at it. Bro, the set.
What's going on?
Bro, it's crazy, bro.
So is Moana taking place on Epstein Island?
Bro, I don't know.
Was Sebastian and Ariel on Epstein Island?
When you get a moment, go online and look at her set and look at the temple in the Epstein Island. They look the same. Oprah's name's outside now.
Yeah, but
about some school in Africa. Ellen DeGeneres just moved to England last year, and apparently she's escaped because started popping off.
Then in 2022, Ricky brought it up again on a podcast, giving a bit more context. He said Tom was essentially reacting like someone who feels above it all, not someone caught off guard. According to Ricky, Tom was just a little annoyed, nothing more. By 2022, though, the internet had already spun its own story. That's where Isaac Cappy comes in. Cappy was an actor with minor roles in Thor, Terminator Salvation, and Breaking Bad. Largely unknown and with a career that wasn't going anywhere. In August 2018, Cappy went on InfoWars and publicly accused Tom Hanks of being a pedophile. No evidence, no paperwork, just a claim. He also mentioned Steven Spielberg and Seth Green. The Conan movement immediately elevated him, seeing him as one of their own. Then on May 13, 2019, Cappy died by jumping off a bridge onto Interstate 40 in Arizona. Two teenagers reportedly tried to stop him. Authorities ruled it a suicide and cited mental health issues. But conspiracy theorists claimed he was silenced for knowing too much, dragging Hanks into the story, part of the frenzy involved in Instagram. Post from April 4, 2019, 1 month before Cappy's death. Hanks posted a photo of a plastic glove on the side of a road with a Route 66 sign. Caption: Historic Route 66. Roadkill. I hope not. Hanks. Internet users immediately connected it to Cappy's death, claiming it was a coded message or a premonition. In reality, Hanks has long posted quirky images of lost items, gloves, shoes, toys, long before any of this. Simply a personal pastime when he tried to clarify. His son Chad Hanks made a video pleading for people to stop harassing his father, and Tom had to turn off comments and disable tagging. Meanwhile, the Greek citizenship rumors escalated. Hanks and his wife Frida Wilson gained Greek citizenship in December 2019, signed personally by the president of Greece. Conspiracy theorists claimed it was to avoid prosecution, but in truth, they have long-standing ties to Greece. Rita is Greek. Tom converted to the Greek Orthodox Church in 1988, and they vacation there every year. Hanks was recognized for humanitarian work after the 2018 Madi village fire in Greece, which killed over 100 people. He and Rita helped raise awareness and support for the victims. All claims about him fleeing or losing citizenship are completely false. When the Epstein files dropped in January 2026, some blogs tried to implicate Hanks, sharing altered screenshots and false claims. Fact-checkers including Snopes, PolitiFact, Newsweek, and Deutsche Welle confirmed there was no truth to any of it. Hanks has no verifiable connection to Epstein. So why do these stories keep circulating? Because debunks never get the same attention as the initial viral claims. The fake screenshots continue to spread, while corrections are largely ignored or distrusted. What do you think? Did Ricky Gervais fully understand what he was doing that night when the camera cut to Tom Hanks? Or was it just chaos amplified by the internet? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you've seen those Epstein list posts going around, now you know the real story. Share this with someone who needs to see it, like and subscribe for more.